Hi guys. Welcome everyone. Welcome to my channel. It is Friday, July 23rd. I hope you are having a good day. I'm sorry. I have been trying to get this video saved or it's shared in a Facebook channel or in a Facebook group that covers this case. And for some reason, I don't know if the admins are just not seeing it, but it hasn't been approved yet. And I was trying to get it out there so the people that are in the group that follow this would be able to know that I was live. This specific topic isn't a humongous draw for my channel subscribers, so I wanted to give the opportunity to them, but they still haven't shared it. So I figured that we needed to talk about some updates about Sophie Long and clear up some of the misinformation that is going on around the case. So I hope you guys are having a really great afternoon. It's Friday, July 23rd. Okay, so it's been 16 days since Sophie has been missing, and the mainstream media is starting to pick the story up a lot more. We're seeing articles with the Daily Mail, with the Daily Beast, with the Sun, the Heavy, a lot of Fox News. There's a lot of places right now that are covering the story. And as more and more momentum is surging, it's becoming more international. Even some international outlets are starting to pick up the story, with the biggest sort of caveat being, you know, the girl that was at the center of this viral video is now missing. And it's bringing up a lot of details from last year that are starting to make the like people surrounding Sophie or people that want to bring her home a little bit uncomfortable. So I wanted to talk about a few things that are going on and then also direct you to a few new places where you can get updates from, which are going to be providing the most comprehensive as well as the most accurate information about where Sophie is and what the direction is to get Sophie to come back home. So Sophie has been missing since July 12th, and she was supposed to be turned over by Michael to the court on July 7th. He had lost custody, and Sophie is now considered a missing person by the Department of Public Safety and in the state of Texas. So the family is kind of going back and forth because while it's been great, or not the family, I guess, like I've seen Courtney, I've talked to Courtney a couple times this week. Courtney has been trying to contact different media outlets that are reporting things that are not accurate. I know that Lisa Sadowski, who is a family friend of Kelly's, has also been working to try to get everything, to trying to get some of the misinformation cleared up. So one of the biggest things and one of the biggest sort of rumors is that, and it was actually like put out by the Daily Mail today, but Michael Long's dad, John Long, is basically telling people that Sophie is safe and that Sophie is fine. And as long as she's with Michael, she's fine. And that Michael's just waiting to bide his time. And that he filed this mandamus report in the hopes of filing more documents. And that, you know, with the new documents that he files in court, then at some point that he will be able to make these filings, and he's just, you know, laying low until those filings are made. But the problem with that is that this is not a laying low situation. He is ordered by the court to return her, and he is considered an abductor, and Sophie is now considered kidnapped. So you don't really get to lay low to put together different court records. Michael's dad is also trying to still play this narrative that Sophie is going to be going back home to a place that she's not safe, and that Michael had to run because there was no other option, because, you know, the judge made the wrong decision and everyone in court had the wrong decisions and everyone has the wrong, you know, everyone is out to get Michael. Every single person that's evaluated this, all the experts, the police, the doctors, the nurses, the independent attorneys for the kids. Everyone has it wrong but Michael. So this is a case where they are going to stick to the story, even if it's not true, and even if the court has found something to be completely opposite. So we are going to be doing something new here. We are hoping to start a new hashtag instead of Stand with Sophie, which was the hashtag that was connected to Mr. Michael. Lisa is hoping that we can start a new hashtag called hashtag Bring Sophie Home, which would be no longer affiliated to Michael and is really just more about what's happening. So if you are going to be talking about this on social media, if you have any reasons to, if you're tweeting about it, if you're on Facebook, if you're on Instagram, please use that hashtag instead of Stand with Sophie, do Bring Sophie Home. And then I want to let you guys know about a couple new pages that are up to date here that have also been created and are being managed by people connected to, I think Lisa is doing these. She's in the chat and she can correct me if I'm wrong. But the Amber Alerts, no, it's been too many days at this point, I'm guessing. All right. So there is a brand new Instagram page called Bring Sophie Home, and it has a lot of details in here. So when you go to these pages, if you notice, it has her missing poster, and it says post number 1, so Sophie has been missing for 13 days. It has all the details of her abduction, and it has, Michael's photo here as well, and is 5 feet tall, 95 pounds. She's age 10, and she has blonde hair and blue eyes. Last seen in Seguin, Texas. They have articles that are being written by Fox News. I know when I spoke to Lisa, they did feel like the Fox article was probably the one that was the most well done. I will say the Daily Mail is doing a humongous disservice right now in their coverage. And I do find the Daily Mail and the Sun to be kind of creating this, in a way, kind of drama or circus around it where it really just shouldn't even be. And then it says Michael was in court on July 7th. Temporary orders were issued to take possession away from Michael and restrain him from contact with her. So when this happened, a no contact order was put in for Michael, but Sophie never got a chance. Michael fled with her and the court deems him to be an immediate danger. Please share the missing poster as far and wide as you can. Bring Sophie home and save Sophie Long. Do the right thing, ML. There's also some court orders that were posted here. It says here are the court orders from July 7th. So it says that the court finds that Michael Long has engaged in a pattern of behavior that's interfered with the reunification and counseling of Sophie. The court finds that based on the evidence, allowing the child to remain in Michael's custody would constitute immediate and substantial danger to her physical health, emotional, and psychological well-being. The court finds it's in the best interest for her to be placed in temporary with her aunt. They want a no contact order of 90 days was ordered. Kelly was given sole custody, or it was ordered that her aunt was given sole custody of her until further notice by the court, and that Kelly was given sole custody of the boys. So he lost custody of the boys and she has sole custody of them. He was also to pay a bunch of different fees. He was ordered to participate in counseling. He is just like they have said that he is prohibited from communicating with Kelly and the kids for 90 days, disturbing the peace. He has no contact with the children subject of the suit, the Kelly or relatives. Michael Long shall make no attempt to contact the children. It's ordered that he shall enroll and participate in counseling, that he pay these fees. So, when all of this came down, rather than actually doing the right thing, he just took off. So he lost everything. Another thing they wanted to remind people is that not only did he take off, but he also abandoned 3 sons. So because he felt like he had to leave with Sophie, he also is abandoning his 3 other sons who are aged ranged. You know, there's 3 little boys now whose dad is gone with their sister. Perez Hilton has picked it up. Jake. Now, Jake Bellington, who is the boyfriend at the center of this, is also speaking out. So in an article with Jake with the Daily Beast, Mr. Jake Bellington, who Michael accused of doing things which were later deemed to be false, and they were unsubstantiated. They say, this is what Michael had to say. To be honest with you, Michael has wasted more of my time than anyone else in my life. The guy's a piece of shit. I'm trying to piece my family back together. He's completely ripped my family apart. He's jealous of me. He can't handle the fact that I invest myself in the time of my kids' lives. He's a lazy sack of shit who can't hold a job. Supposedly he empowers rocks. He finds rocks or mystic sands, and he's got on his parents' property. He says that he still lives on the land that's owned by his parents. And he says he went to the depths of getting a child to say that she was essayed. You can't get any lower than that. And he's obviously on the run with her now. So people in the chat that say, I don't know what to believe, it's pretty simple. Michael fabricated this entire thing in a vendetta against his ex-wife in order to get her back and to disrupt custody and to settle a score. So it's been deemed parental alienation. Okay. So they have a phone number where they say that when Sophie was in the care of her mother, she was a straight A student involved in extracurricular activities, took part in her local church group and more. This changed when she was never returned by Michael after he went and supposed to be a weekend visitation. She's no longer attended public school, even though her father was court ordered to enroll her in one, and she has since fallen very far behind in her education, according to the court and those that are in contact with Michael. There's just one reason why this was just one reason that Michael was not given custody. So she was supposed to be in school and she was not. Kelly is bound by a gag order. So it says, imagine being a mother whose child is missing and you can't speak, even though Kelly has maintained a dignified silence ever since her nightmare began in August 2020. She has officially been under an incredibly strict gag order since January of 2021. This gag order is so complete that no one even knows the parameters of it. A tool of the court used to finally rein in Michael's recklessness is now preventing Kelly from shouting out to the whole world that her daughter is gone. Why doesn't she just break it? Kelly has only survived this ordeal by doing the right thing every step of the way and putting one foot in front of the others. It was with determination to do it the right way as she climbed the mountain, even though she wanted to give up, and even though when she slipped and even when she fell, Kelly was vindicated by the court last week. By staying silent, Kelly finally disentangled her daughter from Michael's clutches. She can't stop now. But can you imagine what this must be like for the mother who wants to share her story, but Kelly and her family can't call up news outlets or answer reporters' questions. They can't post on Facebook or put up signs all over town. All of you are doing this for Kelly and her family in their stead. You can't stop now. So I was told by Lisa that there could be a statement coming out maybe eventually soon by Kelly's attorneys about something. I don't know when. And I knew his story didn't add up. Yeah. And then we have right. So there's been a lot of misinformation that's been put out on the various specific channels across the internet. There's been a lot of infighting this week. There's been a lot of people sharing court records. Michael had shared he filed a mandamus report with the court, trying to get the judge's ruling thrown out, trying to get the judge thrown out. And Michael was somehow going to believe that this would overturn Judge Snipes' court order, which is not true. When he filed this in court, what happened was he also filed all the sealed records related to the case. So the entire custody case, the records have been sealed since last year. Since the sealing and since the filing, the public has known nothing about what's been going on until Michael filed that, and until a couple channels realized that they could access literally every document in there. And suddenly people were going all over YouTube publishing these documents. So there were several channels over the last few weeks or the last week literally going through the entire documents and going through incredibly personal papers that were filed under seal and still protected by court. One channel put together a Google Drive and was allowing people access to this. One channel went as far as to literally describe some really disgusting things that were in there and talking about birth dates, doxing the kids. There has become this subset of people that have gotten really vile in this whole situation, that are doxing anyone that tries to speak the truth, that are still on the pro-Michael trail. And it's really unfortunate because it's muddying the waters of the actual efforts to bring up and bring back Sophie. Nobody should be sharing any court records. No one should be sharing anything related to any of the physical exams or any of the details of what happened in court. The only thing that's been put out so far that's is what the court ordered was. And beyond that, it's not our right as the public to know any of the intimate details once the judge sealed the records. When the judge sealed those records, it's not our place to publish them, and any channels that are publishing them are getting I think they're getting strikes from the family. And it's, we just really, 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 really should not be sharing that. So if you go to the Texas Department of Safety, you can find it under missing persons. I don't have the link up to her missing poster. So not only is there a Instagram page, but now there is also a Facebook page. And so they are updating everything here. So anyone who has information is urged to contact authorities. And again, it has some of the repeats of what you saw on the Instagram page. So they recommend a video that goes through different legal documents. They have the interview from the Daily Beast, which includes statements by Jake Bellington. They have the abduction poster for Michael. They have the abduction poster for the abductor poster for Michael, the abduction poster for her, and they're also, and then here's the direct link to the Department of Safety. Here, I'll share it now. There's the link for the Department of Safety, but it's an actual, obviously, missing persons case. This is not a lie. This is 1,000,000,000% what's going on. And so we are in a situation where she is missing and has been missing for 16 days. So the court has basically found that Michael was participating in what's called parental alienation and effectively coaching his daughter to say things that were not true in an effort to have the custody disrupted and to make her not want to be around her mom. And so because of that, the court ordered that Sophie has to go through reunification counseling and that Michael has to pay for that. And we still don't know where he is. There hasn't been a lot of credible leads from my understanding. I have continually asked, I spoke to Courtney Chalmers, his soon-to-be ex-wife. And that's the other problem, you guys, is, if you read the Daily Mail and the Sun, they're continuing to say that Courtney Chalmers is still his wife. Well, technically, Courtney is his wife. Courtney and Michael are going through a divorce. Courtney has filed a protective order and has a protective order against Michael for her and her son, Phoenix. Courtney and Michael are estranged. And there was also some misinformation that Courtney had asked me to clarify. She says that she was never determined to have been coaching Sophie. She claims that in the new evaluation, she was not fingered by the court, that according to Courtney. Those are Courtney's statements. Take it with a grain of salt, but she said it was not her, it was Michael. There you go. Courtney has been sharing updated photos of as well on her Facebook page and her Facebook profile so that people have updated photos of her. Courtney believes that her eyes are green, but mom says they're blue. The state says they're blue. They're blue. And yeah, so Michael's dad is like talking to the Daily Mail, which is ridiculous. We should talk about this article. I'm really disappointed. I mean, I guess how should I be? What else should I expect from the Daily Mail? But, you know, the grandfather says that I hate the Daily Mail and all of their ads grandfather says that she's safe and she has no other choice but to take after. He was banned from contact and fears. And just goes on about how people don't know where Sophie is. She is safe with Michael. The reason she's not being given over to the court is to buy time for filing more court documents. We do not want her to go back. We do not want her to go back to an abusive environment she was in. The court has attacked Michael, but not addressed the drugs and the sexual assault. They did. And it says Michael claims Sophie was SA'd by her mother, blah, blah, blah. And that was not found to be substantiated. So they did address these things. That's the thing is, I don't know what land that John Long is living in where he actually believes that the court did not address those claims, because they did. And it was found that it didn't happen. So that interview was with his dad. Subscribing to my channel is 100% free. So you are chatting here and you can chat without being a member. So subscribers are free. Okay, so there's been a lot of misinformation going on. So that was mainly that nothing will prevent John from, no amount of court order or court filings will stop the court order that he has to turn over his daughter. No amount of, filing more documents is going to change anything. The court ruled, the court found everything this is how it is. And they want Sophie returned. So it's a mess, and the parents are being dishonest. They are claiming that they don't have any idea where Michael is. There's been some suggestions that maybe some of the mom's friends are helping. There has been a father's rights group that was posting about how they believe that Michael had been set up and the court was failing Sophie. And I just, I find all of this to be so disturbing to me. Like, why are we worrying about all of this? John Long is in access and aiding and abetting. I cannot wait to hear the cuffs clink. Well, right now, it makes me really sad that the grandfather in this case is continuing to spread misinformation. And it also just makes me sad in general that the Daily Mail is still giving them any sort of platform to claim that this is the truth. I think it would be extremely hard a far-fetched conspiracy theory to believe that literally every part of the government, from the police to the unaffiliated government to the doctors and to lawyers, are all conspiring against Michael. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't hold weight. It's just really unfortunate. So Sophie has been gone for 16 days. Nobody knows where she is. They think he could be going to Utah, Arizona, Colorado, California, or Mexico or Argentina. The entire state of Texas. Michael is paranoid. yes, the conspiracy garbage just feeds into their delusions. So there's still like, there's headlines like he scammed the GoFundMe and the GoFundMe was done under fraud. I still don't know how that GoFundMe has not been investigated for fraud. I still don't understand how he hasn't been investigated by any authorities for fraud for the GoFundMe. The GoFundMe is not currently accepting any at all donations, but it's still up. I want to know how this is all even capable of being going on. So I think the biggest thing is that he didn't pass his psych exam. Sophie still has not been seen. Sophie hasn't been in school. Sophie is behind academically. The court says that she's in immediate danger being with her father. And the Department of Public Safety in Texas is looking for her. There are thousands of kids right now that have been abducted by family members, and there is so little resources for families that are in the situation like Kelly. Because of Kelly's gag order, she is unable to speak out and she's unable to say anything. And so hopefully soon her lawyers can speak and put out something to try to clean this narrative up that somehow what Michael is doing is somehow legal, because it's not. And I think the channels that are pushing the narrative that Michael is just doing the right thing and that Michael is doing that, and it just doesn't help at all. So let's do our best to continue to share her link to the Facebook page, share the Instagram page, follow those pages for all the latest updates. If you see him, make sure that you call the Texas Department of Public Safety missing persons line. Make sure that if you have tips, you contact them as well. And the more publicity that goes on this, the better. Right now, the issue is that a lot of the publicity is focusing on the real salacious details of what his false allegations are, and that does not help bringing her home, because the court already ordered that Kelly has full custody of the boys and that Sophie be turned over to her aunt. And we should not be supporting any creators that are doxing, threatening, doxing people that have anything to do with supporting her bringing home. Is there a GoFundMe on the other way around to donate to mom and support her? Oh, yes. Or even Sophie's future mental health care. There is let me share you Kelly's legal fund, which we donated to last week, but they have she has a legal fund set up. Let me just put it in the chat. Routes and Law is the website where you can donate to Kelly's legal fund. She has had to spend so much money in this fight, and this hasn't even gone to full trial yet. So it's not over. It's only just the final stages. So she still has attorneys that she's paying. She still has documents that she's filing. She has paid thousands upon thousands of dollars. It has affected every aspect of the mother's life because of all of the false allegations. She was under protective custody for weeks. Michael lied that his kids were missing about a year ago. Sophie has been abducted now. And Michael is supposed to be paying for all of her future therapy, and he has not complied with those orders. Yes, there's also a Facebook page called The Long Hoax that has up-to-date information that Lisa, who is Kelly's friend, is actively in daily. There are a bunch of creators, smaller creators that are also in there that are putting out information constantly. And I think at the end of the day, it's really just important to try to stay out of the fray, stay out of the drama, stay focused on finding Sophie, checking on the Facebook page, Bring Sophie Home, the Instagram page, and if you see her, to contact authorities. Bring Sophie Home. Yeah, it's a very convoluted story. All right. So that's what I have for now. I will probably have some other updates coming soon on other topics. And I just wanted to make sure that you guys didn't have any questions. Exactly. Bring Sophie home. If you see people bashing the mom, just remind them, bring Sophie home. If you see people defending Michael, just remind them, bring Sophie home. It doesn't help anyone to aid and abet someone that's kidnapped a child and not properly taking care of a child for a year. You just popped in, damn it. Yeah, I don't know. Fridays are always in the summer very slow. People go out of town, and so I don't do a lot of uploads on Fridays, specifically for the reason that it's just like my lower day of the week. So I wasn't expecting a huge turnout, but yeah, share the posters, put it on if you have any sort of platform at all, share the posters. It doesn't say where she would be. They only have guesses. So at this point, they don't know where she is. They don't know if she's in Texas, if she's in Arizona, if they're already out of the country. There's this guy that's from a father's right movement that was literally defending Michael this week and acting like Michael was being railroaded and that all fathers are being railroaded. And, the father's rights group that he's with is run by a man that had his own issues, let's just say. Jean says she'll share on TikTok. I appreciate that. Yes, please don't get caught up in arguing about the case. Don't get caught up in all the ticky-tack stuff. It's all bring Sophie home. So I'll show you guys the poster one more time so you guys can see that she is 5 feet tall, 95 pounds, 10 years old, blonde hair, blue eyes, white. She was last seen on the 12th of July. She is believed to be with her non-custodial parent, Michael, and may be en route to Arizona, Colorado, Utah, Mexico, or Argentina. I'm sorry, not California. Michael is possibly driving an off-white 2010 Ford Edge SUV or a gray van with blacked out windows, an NRA sticker, and a black rack on top. Missing juvenile has a small burn mark on one of her arms. And Michael is obviously 6'4" and blonde hair, green eyes, and a complete and utter hot mess. Jennifer says, no matter what the circumstances, no parent should have to wonder where their child is or where they are safe. Exactly. Lisa says she hasn't been seen since Wednesday the 7th, but the NCIC was filed on the 12th, which is why it says that. Thank you for the clarification, Lisa. Lisa, did you want to join and add any information that I have? I can send you an invite if you'd like, and you can join the panel and share any details that you might have. I'm happy to have you on if you have anything that you can share, given that it's from you. You haven't seen it. Oh my gosh. There's a lot of information. I sent Lisa a link if she wanted to join, but I don't know. Okay, she says, I can't be support, yours included. No problem. I just wanted to give you the opportunity that if you had and wanted to share anything that you could. Okay, so this case is very convoluted, but honestly, all that matters is that all the stuff that happened in the fall of last year didn't happen. It was all this scam for him to get money and fraud and all that stuff, trying to alienate Sophie from her mother. And now he has kidnapped her and the court has deemed him unfit, unstable, and dangerous to Sophie. And Kelly is bound by a gag order and cannot speak for herself. And the mainstream media, some of the outlets are running with a little bit dangerous narratives that are not helping this case at all. Bring Sophie home, says Alyssa. Exactly. All right, you guys. So make sure you share this video, like the Instagram page, like the Facebook page, use the hashtag Bring Sophie Home. And if you have any details, make sure you contact the authorities. All right, you guys. Thanks so much for being here. Bye.